What's up, my fellow doodlers? Today I have something to announce for the channel, something new and something other than gaming that's going to be happening on the channel at least once a month. Now, I'm very excited about this. This is something that I've been planning for a couple weeks now. Today, I'm happy to announce that we're going to start doing cards, and specifically it's going to be the Digimon Card Game. Now, with this one, I chose to start off it with the Classic Collection because that's what it all started with all those years ago. Alright, so let's get going. So, took the liberty of already opening up the box so I could display everything for you guys. And with every box, we get a promotional card. And for the Classic Collection, we get a Black War Greymon. So we can open up this bad boy as carefully as we can. And what I like to do for my unboxings, I want to read the cards and kind of explain them just a little bit. So with War Greymon, we have a level 6. If you're digivolving from a level 5, it is a cost of 3, and he has 11,000 DP. Now, he does have the blocker trait, and that just allows you to block instead of having the opponent hit you directly for your security checks. You can use this card to block that and force them to hit you. And it also has Reboot, and Reboot unsuspend this Digimon during your opponent's unsuspend phase. So it's got some interesting attributes. So, our first pack. Now, before I open the packs, actually, I do want to specify what I'm trying to get. I'm kind of trying to get a yellow deck going. So I'm really trying to pick the Seraphimon, the Magna Angimon, and a lot of the yellow cards. Now, there are some alternative art cards that we're also going to be going for. There's a Machine Dramon card. There's also a Tamer card, but I actually got that in a pack earlier this week. So everything in here we actually need 4 of. Just when you're building a deck, you can have a max of 4 cards of every specific card in a deck if you want. Now, let us go for this first pack. Try to open these up correctly. Now, I don't really think there's a card trick for these, to be honest. I really haven't been doing one. So if someone would leave me a comment in here if there is a card trick. If not, it's not happening this time. So we got Hagurimon. On play, you may trash the one Digimon with Machine or Cyborg and its trait in your hand to draw 2 cards. It is a rookie level Digimon. Awesome, we got another XVmon. Now, although I did say that I want to start building a yellow deck, I also want to start preparing for that Imperialdramon deck as well. That's going to be coming out later on. So we need XVmons, we need some Stingmons, we need some Imperialdramons, we need some Dragon Mode as well, that's in this deck. We need Pale Dramons, we also need Dino Beamons. So there's a lot that we can get in this Classic Collection, but I mainly am gunning for that Seraphimon. So for XVmon, it has the ability of jamming, and what's cool about this jamming effect is that this Digimon can't be deleted in battles against security Digimon, which is amazing. Now, that is its Digivolution effect. So if this is on the top card, then it has the jamming. And then it has its inherited skills on the bottom of the card. Now, the inherited is on your turn. While this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name or free in its traits, it also gains jamming. So whether or not it's the top card on the Digivolution chain that's on the battle area or the breeding phase, or if it's part of the Digivolution line, you get jamming with this. So that's going to be really handy if you're trying to use this card to security check, so you don't have to worry about this card dying unless it specifically hits a security check that tells it that it's going to wipe out. Oh, the next card is Stingmon. Awesome. And this card has the Digimon trait of Piercing. And what Piercing does is when this Digimon attacks and deletes an opponent's Digimon and survives the battle, it performs any security checks it normally would, which is actually really good. And then its inherited skill, when it's your turn, while this Digimon has Pt.1 in its name or free in its trait, it gains Piercing. Again, we're going to be getting Warp Digivolving to Pt.1 a little bit later on. So they're both going to have Piercing, so this kind of negates that if you were to add them both to that. But if it's by itself, it's still good. Zudomon. Zudomon's a blue card. And then for this one, its Digimon trait is when Digivolving, trash one Digivolution card from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. Now, blue likes to trash a lot of stuff, as well as have things in your hand. So if you're familiar with the All-Force Vidramon deck, it likes to a lot of card effects are when you have 8 or more cards, and then you could either draw a card or gain memory. That's another way. So just keep that in mind. And it also has, on your turn, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digivolution cards. So there are decks that build off of that. We got Gardramon. Gardramon is a champion level Digimon, and it's got some things going for it. So its Digimon trait is Blocker, and again, we know that Blocker is, instead of it hitting your security check, it forces, you can use this to force your opponent to hit this instead. And also, unfortunately, on your turn, this Digimon can't attack. So it's mainly just used for a blocker or for a Digivolution card, because when it has its inherited effect, when attacking, you may trash one Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg in its traits in your hand to draw 2 cards. We got Ukakumon. So on here, your turn, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digivolution cards. Now earlier we did get a blue card that also had, I believe it was right here, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digivolution cards, and basically it has the same thing, because it has the same trait, but with Zudomon, when Digivolving, trash one Digivolution card from the bottom of your opponent's Digimon. So you can start, kind of getting the gears turning and kind of combining cards to work for you. We got Togemon. So on here, it doesn't have any Digimon traits, but it does have some Digivolution traits, or inherited traits. So on your turn, or once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets 2,000 DP for plus 2,000 DP for the turn. So you might want to play some other Digimons before this. Plesiomon. We got a Mega. So this one is a blue, and it's got a couple Digimon traits. So on your turn, or once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digivolution cards is trashed, draw 2 cards. That's actually really good. Your turn, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digivolution cards. So you're kind of starting to see a pattern for the blue cards kind of having that same trait of being able to attack opponents unsuspended. We got Gatomon. Gatomon is a champion level Digimon that is yellow. And in here, when attacking or once per turn, if you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP. So let's say they have another champion and it's at 5,000. If you have 3 or more security cards, you can bring that down from 5,000 to 3,000, and this would be able to beat it. Or let's say it brings out a rookie level Digimon that has 2,000, you can negate it down to 0, and once it hits 0, it's destroyed. So yellow decks like to either increase or increase your Digimon's DP, or decrease your opponent's Digimon, as well as one of the main things is going to be adding security checks. So you start with 5, but you can start to add more, or there are some cards where you can check your security, take that, put it in your hand, and then take the top card from your deck and then put it on your security. So you can start playing smart like that. We got Edamon. Your turn for the Digimon trait is when this Digimon digivolves into a Digimon card with Edamon in its name in your hand, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 1. This is a memory-placed game, so you got to be smart with your memory, so there you go. And it also has an inherited skill. So on your turn, when this Digimon has Edamon in its name, it gains Jamming. Jamming, as we know, is pretty good. You could attack their security, it survives, unless, you know, it's an option card that destroys it. Or it has an innate skill for a security, and it tells you, yep, you're screwed, I'm going to kill that. Alright, so we did get a shiny Ogremon. For Ogremon, when attacking, you may trash one card in your hand to have this Digimon gain security attack +1. So you can hit with this card your opponent's life points or security checks. If you were to know about Yu-Gi-Oh! The life points. But in here you have 5 security checks. You can hit it for 2, which is kind of nuts. Especially when there's only 5 for this turn. It also has an inherited trait. When attacking, you may trash one card in your hand to have this Digimon get plus 2,000 DP for the turn. And again, for like these purple decks, it's a lot of discarding, trashing to power up what you already have or play some crazy effects. And then we did get the Tamer, Analog Youth. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but for the people who do know this, kudos to you. This is from the original Digimon World game that was on the PlayStation. Now, this character was basically the protagonist. I believe his name was Mamau. He was sent to bring balance to the digital world. So this is kind of paying homage to that. But what this card does is, one, again, it's a Tamer card, and just to let you know, for anybody who's new, Tamer cards cannot be deleted. They are a constant on your field unless there's a card out there that specifically states that it will destroy your Tamer card. That's very few and far between so far in the North America, but there are some cards out there or coming. But going back to this, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. And on all turns, when one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digivolution card is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer. If you do, gain 1 memory, then hatch 1 Digi-Ed card to an empty space in your breeding area. That's actually really good because, let's say they only have 1 energy, or they're at 0, and they attack you, you could tap this card, you could suspend this card, and bring it over and end their turn. At the same time, you can put a Digitama, which is the Digi-Egg, you can flip that over, and you can already get the jump on your next turn. So I've seen this used a couple of times, and I've seen it work pretty good. That concludes our first pack. That did take a little bit of time, so if we start getting the same cards, you know, we'll just start going through this. Alright. You know, the Digimon cards are weird to open because they have a little flask on the top instead of trying to do, you know, the Pokemon. I tried doing that the other day. It feels weird. But anyways, we got Metal Tyrannomon, and it's an ultimate level Digimon. It's also a black card. When digivolving its Digimon trait, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck Add 1 level 6 Digimon card with machine in its traits among them to your hand. Trash the remaining cards. And it has an inherited trait. On your opponent's turn, while this Digimon has machine in its trait, which it does, it does not. It actually has Ultimate Virus Cyborg. So you would have to like combo this with like another card. But in its trait, it gains Reboot, which means unsuspend this Digimon during your opponent's unsuspend phase. We got another XVmon. We can just pass that. We got a Caramon. Alright. So for Caramon, it's a black Digimon, rookie. On your turn, for each Digimon you have in play with the same name as this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. It's alright. Wizardmon. So this is a new skill we've seen so far in this video. It's called Retaliation on its Digimon trait. So Retaliation, when this Digimon is deleted after losing a battle, delete the Digimon it was battling. That's pretty, this could get you out of some sticky situations. But its inheritance traits, on your turn, all your Digimon with a Retaliation gain Rush. And this is another new skill that we haven't seen so far. So Rush, this Digimon can attack the turn it comes into play. I don't know. I mean, you could start getting nutty with this. We got another Hagurumon. Now, I am explaining more on this first video for first-time users. As we start to do more videos, I will probably go away from that method unless people want me to keep that. Anyways, we got Tappermon. Tappermon's inherent skill is on your turn or once per turn. When one of your Digimon is deleted, draw 1 card. Alright. We got Garudamon. I don't believe we've got this Digimon yet. So, this is an ultimate level Digimon. Red. When attacking or once per turn, when this Digimon attacks a player, gain 1 memory. We're trying to go for those yellow cards, but doesn't seem like it's happening so far. Hopefully we get some more luck. We're only pack and a half in. Bergermon. When attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Now, we haven't talked about red decks, from my understanding, and I also have been using the Gallantmon deck, that pre-deck that they released. It is a deck that's really supposed to destroy your opponent as fast as possible, so it starts to delete Digimons as fast as it can. There's a card in there that's called Gaia Force that you can pay 8 memory costs for, and it deletes any Digimon. If you get that in your security attack, security checks, it is a game changer and a lifesaver. Now, I will say I am starting to get into the tournaments, so I'm not familiar with a lot of these, broken builds yet, but with this channel, doing these cards, and the more and more I play, you'll start to see the growth in that. But again, Edamon we've already seen. Kabuterimon. Now this has a Digimon trait. When attacking, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon with Insectoid and its trait in your hand for its Digivolution cost. I don't know, that might be something to look towards. And our rare for this pack is going to be Kuwagumon. Now this, at the start of turn for its Digimon trait, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Okay. And its inheritance trait is your turn. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, one of your opponent's suspended Digimon doesn't unsuspend during the next unsuspend phase. That could be good. And we got Tyrannamon. Tyrannamon right here is going to have a couple skills. Now, we have when Digivolving, if you don't have a Taiga in play, you may play one from your hand without paying its memory cost. Okay? Your turn, this Digimon is also treated as green. So it's got two traits. It's either red, it's both red and green. So you could start trying to put this or integrate this into a red-green deck. And for its inherited trait for when it digivolves, or is part of a digivolution chain, when your turn, while this Digimon has Tyrannomon in its name, it gets plus 1000 DP. That concludes Pack 2. I probably should be putting the last cards aside. Just makes it easier. So we'll put those aside. Next pack. Alright. I don't want to bend the cards, but at the same time, they don't make it easy until I figure out another way to do it. Alright. Starting off with Garudamon. Devimon. Alright, so a new card. So with Devimon, tongue twister, it has retaliation as one of its Digimon traits. And it also has, on your turn, while you don't have a Digimon with Myotismon in its name in play, this Digimon can't attack your opponent's Digimon. Okay. So it's kind of there as a means of either kamikazing the enemy team's Digimon, or potentially leading up to a stronger Digimon. We got Gomamon. On play, trash one Digimon card from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. Alright. We got Hagurumon. We got Wergarurumon. I believe this is the first time we've gotten him. So when digivolving, draw one card. So if you digivolve into this card, you pick up more than one card, because I do want to let you know, every time you digivolve in this game, you draw a card. So with this effect, you're going to be drawing 2, which is really good. And it also has an inheritance trait. When attacking once per turn, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, gain 1 memory. See, we were talking about that earlier with the blue decks. This is where it's coming into play. You have multiple cards that have this effect. You can really start building up your memory, and it gives you a lot more you can do within your turn. We got Salamon. We're starting to get some of the yellow cards of the light cards. We need those. But for Salamon, when attacking once per turn, if you have 3 or more security cards, draw 1. Okay. We got Kurisarimon. I believe that's how you say it. But its inheritance trait is your either on your turn or once per turn. Once per turn on your turn. When one of your other Digimon with the same name as this Digimon is deleted, unsuspend this Digimon. Okay, that's a Digivolution trait. Get some good builds. Kabuterimon. We've already gone. This is the first Agumon, I believe, because there's a lot of text, and I feel like I would remember. But anyways, when attacking once per turn, as well as once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Tamer card or Digimon card with Agumon in its name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So this could help you get Tamers out onto the field. Alright, we got Piedmon. So on play, this is a Digimon trait. On play, delete 4 of your opponent's unsuspended level 4 or lower Digimon. Okay. On your turn and once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, you draw a card. There you go. Our rare for this is going to be Skull Greymon. I don't believe we've gotten a Skull Greymon so far. I pulled one earlier this week, so now we have 2. So hey, I could start implementing this into like a purple deck. So off rip, it has a Digimon trait for security attack +1, so it would hit you for 2. At the end of the attack, you got to delete this Digimon though. It's a trade-off. As well as, when you delete this, you may play 1 Agumon from your trash suspended without paying its memory cost. So it's kind of a give and take. And then our next card is going to be Ultimate Connection. It's going to be an option card. I believe this is our first option card so far. So option cards are kind of like, I guess in a sense, trap cards if you're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! But option cards are kind of just like skills and then once you use them, they get trashed. But for this one, it's called Ultimate Connection. So on your main turn, you may trash one level 5 Digimon with Cyborg and its trait in your hand to gain 2 memory and draw 1. Interesting. Alright. I believe this is going to be our 4th pack. Alright. Alright. Wizardmon. We got Kurisarimon again. We got Biomon again. Karamon. Got another XVmon. We need those. We need those. Tentomon. This is the first time I think we've gotten Tentomon. So, let's go over it. So, it doesn't have any Digimon traits, but it does have a Digivolution inherited trait. So, when attacking, the next time one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with an Insectoid or Ancient Insect in its trait this turn, reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 1. You know, it just helps a little bit. We got Andromon. I believe this is the first time we got him too, so let's get into it. So, when Digivolving, so if he comes out into play in the means of Digivolution, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 level 6 Digimon with Machine in its traits among them to your hand. So that could be pretty good. Trash the remaining cards. Alright. But it also has some inherited effects too. So on your opponent's turn, when this Digimon has Machine in its traits, it gains Blocker. There you go. Oh, we got another black card, and it's going to be Metal Edamon. On Metal Edamon, on your turn, it doesn't have any inheritance skills. It just has a lot of the Digimon traits. On your turn, for each Digimon card with Edamon in its name in your trash, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. So it's already at 10,000. You know, you can have a lot. There's so many variations of Edamon. I think there's like 3. So if you build a deck with a lot of Edamons and you're making your opponent kill them, eventually this guy's gonna get really buff. And also it has an on deletion effect. Also, this is a new effect that we haven't seen yet so far. Digivolve 1. One of your opponent's Digimon, so trash 1 card from the top of one of your opponent's Digimon. If it has no Digivolution cards or becomes a level 3 Digimon, you can't trash any more cards. So you could trash everything. You can Digivolve, let's say he had a level 7. You know, you could Digivolve, if I'm not mistaken, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Trash 1 card from the top of one of your opponent's Digimon. So you could save yourself from this. We got Garurumon. We haven't seen this one yet. So, Garurumon. When attacking, and once per turn, you may play 1 Mat Ishida with a play cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. So again, getting those tamers are going to be really helpful. Agumon. And then, we got a Paildramon for our rare for the pack. So this it's also, notice that it's a blue and green card. When Digivolving, if a Digimon card with free in its trait is in this Digimon's Digivolution card, unsuspend this Digimon. So what that means is, when you attack, it suspends, right? So you hit your opponent's security cards, there you go. Or, if a Digimon card with free in its trait is in this Digivolution card, mind you, it has free. So, it already off-rip can unsuspend itself 1 time. So, I do want to make that point, you know, this is only when Digivolving into this card. Also, it has an inheritance skill, which is good. On your turn, while this Digimon has an Paildramon in its name, it can't be blocked. So, this is where, you know, you would want to get this card in preparing for that Imperial Dramon deck. And our last card is another option card. Awesome. It's called Fight for Your Pride. So I do also want to stress, because I didn't stress it last time, sometimes a lot of option cards, most option cards, have a security effect. And what that means is if it's one of the cards in your security checks, most of the time it is, you can play this effect. But on this card, if it's a security card, you can play one purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. So that could be good. That is good. But it also has its main effect. So its main effect is play one purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Then, if you have a Digimon with awesomeness in its name in play, one of your Digimon game's blocker. So that's really good. And then, until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this could potentially be a good card if you're in a pickle. Alright, that was pack 4. We're on 5. We got about 7 more to go. In this round, alright. We got Devimon. Alright, so we haven't gotten Devimon yet. It's purple champion level Digimon. So, on deletion, it has an inherited skill. On deletion, return one purple level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash to your hand. So, on deletion, since it's a level 4, you could put this right back into your hand. That could be good. We got Mega Dramon. This is his first time too. Also, it's a red and black card. It's a level 5. So, on play, delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. You know, that does seem small, but, you know, if they're recuperating from a previous attack, this might be good. As well as having an inheritance skill. On your turn, while this Digimon has Machine in its trait, it gains Security Attack +1. So it'll hit your opponent's Security Attack for 2. And then we got Togemon. I don't believe we went over it, so we'll go over it one more time if we did. Its inheritance is on your turn and once per turn. When one of your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Alright. Ikakumon. So this is a blue card. On your turn, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no Digivolution cards. I believe we already got that one now that I read it. Electmon. This is our... We're not getting a lot of yellows. But that's okay for now. We still got some packs. Now, with Electmon, it is a rookie level Digimon, but it has an inherited skill. So, on deletion, one of your opponent's Digimon gains Security Attack +1 for the turn. So, you could use this, since it's so low, this is just one strat. If you were to use this, you know, you bring it out from your breeding phase or just play it off rip, you could attack their security to get one of their security gone, right? And then most likely anything is going to kill this. So once it's deleted, it just gives one of your other Digimon another ability to hit for 2 more. So off rip that turn, you could hit for 3. You know, so just something to think about. We got Weragarurumon. We got Palmon. This is the first time we've gotten Palmon. So on deletion, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less. Alright. Got something going right there. Alright. So we got Patamon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Angel, Archangel, or the 3 Great Angels in its trait among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So, this could get you, I believe, Magna Angemon and possibly Seraphimon into your hand. We got Greymon. and I believe we looked at this real quick. You may play, when attacking once per turn, you may play one Tai Kamiya with the play cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Now, we got Lady Devimon. This is the first time. Alright, so when Digivolving, you may trash the top 3 cards of your deck. You know, purple decks, like we were saying earlier, it's a lot of trashing cards for other effects. So when Digivolving, you trash the top 3, and then it has its inheritance skill. On your turn, once per turn, when you play a Digimon from your trash, gain 1 memory. Because if you think about it, when you look at those top 3, sometimes they, within that deck, if it has the ability in it, you know, when trash you gain a memory, or it goes back to your hand. When we were looking at that other purple card earlier, it goes back in your hand. Alright, and then we have this option card. If you have a tamer in play, you may use this option card without meeting its color requirements. That's pretty good. Main, the next time one of your Digimon digivolves this turn, you may trash one Digimon card in your hand of the same color as the digivolving Digimon to reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 4. That could be really good. Oh, sweet! We get another option card. Security, so you would, if this was a security check card, you would activate this main effect. Or if you play it, it would be 1 cost. When you may trash one level 5 Digimon card with Cyborg and its trait in your hand to gain 2 memory and draw 1. I believe we've already got that. So, on to the next pack. This should start going a little bit faster because we're starting to get a little bit more of the same cards. If I can get them open. Alright. We got Devimon. We got Metal Mamamon. Got Gomamon. Garudamon. See what I mean? We're getting all those. Salamon. Metal Tyrannomon. Zudomon. Gabumon. Lady Devimon. Rosemon. We haven't gotten this mega yet. So, it's a green. On your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And then when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Alright. Oh, yes! We finally got a yellow card that we haven't got. Alright, Leomon. Security. At the end of the battle, if you have 3 or fewer securities, recovery +1. Let's go. And our next... Ooh! We got a variant Tentomon. So if you notice the variant Tentomons, the other one was kind of like a whole border, or the whole thing. And then this one looks more like the old style. I mean, it has the, you know, the same art as before, but the card itself, that's really cool. Has the same effect as before. Awesome. So we've gotten one variant. All right, we're starting to pick up the pace. Oh, I already see something really good at the beginning of this deck that we were looking for. We got Angemon. Let's go. And Angemon's inherited ability is when attacking once per turn. If you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP to the end of your next opponent's turn. Awesome. We needed that. Stingmon. We got Hagurumon, Tapirmon, Palmon, Wergarurumon, Gardramon, Birdramon, Edamon, Lilymon. We haven't gotten... actually, we did get Lilymon before. And our rare is going to be Emergency Program Shutdown. We haven't gotten this one before. So, this one, I'm going to read the security because it's a little bit different than playing it. So, if this is a security card, your opponent can't use option cards this turn. Then, add this card to its owner's hand. Wow. And it also has its main ability if you were to play it outright for the 3 cost. Your opponent can't use option cards until the end of their next turn. So, you can preemptively use it, or if they were to hit your skill, they can't use anything for the rest, which is good. Alright. And our other rare is going to be Kawagamon. See, now we're burning through this. We've gone through 2, 4, 6. This is going to be our 8th pack. Starting to get there. Alright, another yellow card. Electmon. We need these to start building our deck. Devimon. Megadramon. Andromon. Zudomon. Gardramon. Palmon. Rosemon. We got another Gabumon. Hey! Yes! We got a Mega Magnadramon. Awesome. Yellow. We need those. Let's dive into this. So, when digivolving, you may trash the top card of your security stack to unsuspend this Digimon. Now, that kind of seems like a loss, but wait. When attacking, once per turn, if you have 3 or fewer securities, you can recover one. So, you could do this strategically. So, keep that in mind. We got it! Yes! We got Serafimon! This is the one. This is the one, boys and girls. This is the one we were waiting for. Let's go! Serafimon. Alright. Now, I just want to specify why I like this card so much. When digivolving, automatically recover 1 security check. Off rip, good. Opponent's turn. While this Digimon is suspended, all of your security Digimon get plus 5,000 DP. So you hit with this, and then everything else on the field, it makes it 10 times harder to kill. We got it. Let's go. We can only go up from here now that we got it. We are going to try and get 4. Let's try and get as close as we can to 4, because we can have 4 in a deck. Imagine having 4. That would be pretty good. And then we got another Tyrannomon. We actually have... we got 2 of these now. So if I wanted to build a red deck, I'm going to put this one over here. Yes, that's my favorite pull so far. All right. We got some packs left already. We got Zudomon. We got Devimon. We got Megadramon, another Electmon, Andromon, Togemon, Ikakumon. This is the first Dino Beamon. See, at the beginning of the video, we were talking about we wanted this card. Here's why. It's green and blue. As well as when digivolving, if a Digimon card with free in its trait is in this Digimon's Digivolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. You know, you start playing this earlier on, this is still pretty good, even late, you know, if you're starting to wreck your opponent. But it also has an inherited skill. When one of your Digimon with Imperialdramon in its name deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you gain a memory. So that could help. Piedmon. We got another Kabuteri. And we got a new option card. Alright, so this is for the blue players. It's called Ice Wall. If this is a security card, then you gain 2 memory. If you play this for 1 memory on your turn, all of your opponent's Digimon gain, when attacking, lose 2 memory until the end of the next turn. So this could be a very good option card to have. And, actually, we got Venomyotismon as a card. Ooh, let's read it. So, off rip, it has retaliation. And again, when this Digimon is deleted after losing a battle, delete the Digimon it was battling. Really good. And it also has, when attacking, once per turn, you may play 1 purple level 4 or lower Digimon card with retaliation from your trash without paying its memory cost. And any on-play effect on this Digimon played with this effect don't activate. So they don't want to make it too broken, if it is. And yeah, so it's just a little caveat on that. Nice. We're getting some good pulls. At the beginning, it was a little shaky, but after pulling Serafimon, oh, you know, we're getting there. All right. Ooh, that wasn't easier. It was kind of like a folder. Alright. We got Weregarurumon. Kurisarimon. I said that right. Gomamon. We gotta start a new pile. Metal Mamamon. We got another Salamon. Demivon. Devimon. Yes, I said that right. We got Garudamon, Greymon. We got a Lilymon. We got a Phoenixmon. We haven't got one of these, so let's go over it. So we got Security Attack +1. As well as when attacking with Digimon attacks a player, you draw 2 cards. Alright. Hey, we got the Metal Greymon too. So this is a red and black card. This is a good card too. So when attacking with Digimon attacks a player, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 DP or less. That's pretty good. But its inherent ability is on your turn. While this Digimon has Machine or Dragonkin in its trait, it gains Piercing. When Piercing does is when this Digimon attacks and deletes an opponent's Digimon and survives the battle, it performs any security checks it normally would. So you could go after a Digimon instead of going after security and still hit them for the security. There you go. And we got another Ice Wall. Alright. Now, we got these 2 packs left for part 1. Alright. That was a little sloppy. But we got Karamon, Palmon, Tapirmon, Garudamon, Weregarurumon. We got another Angimon. Let's go. Hopefully we could get a Magna, at least 1. Got another Phoenix. We got another Magnadron. Let's go. Plesiomon, I believe. Hey! We got another rare Leomon. Nice. We got 2. And we got a new option card, which is now on this. If this was a security card, you would play its main effect, and its main effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less and blocker. That's really good, considering that Gaia Force is 8 to destroy any Digimon. So if anything is under 6,000 for 3, to play for 3 memory, that's pretty good. And the final one on the rotator. Come on, last pack luck. Oh, well, not last pack luck on easy opening, I'll tell you that. Jesus. Alright. We got Zudomon. We got Metal Tyrannomon. Ikakumon. Togemon. Electmon. Devimon. For a second, I thought I pulled 2 of the same cards. Anyways. Megadramon. We got Greymon. Garurumon. Phoenixmon. We got another Metal Greymon, which is good. And another Skull Greymon. Which is kind of funny that the last 2 are these, because this is technically the evil version of when he was trying to transform into this. Alright. We got some good pulls today. We got some really good pulls. I mean, look it. We got Serafimon. Yes. I can't believe we got it. Now we just need to pull 3 more. Alright. Hell yeah. Let's go. That is the end of part 1. Thank you guys. Hey fellow doodlers. Thanks for making it this far into the video. This concludes the part 1 of a 2-part series for this classic collection box unboxing. Wow, that's a tongue twister. But anyways, again, thanks for making it this far. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and tell your friends. You know, I really want to get into this, so make sure you comment in here. Let me know what you think, the thoughts, my format. Let me know anything, especially if you're interested in me unboxing more of the Digimon card game, past packs, the future packs coming up. Let me know anything. Anyways, we pulled some pretty interesting stuff today. Let's see what we pull for part 2. But anyways, keep on doodling.